Hi guys, in this video I show you everything you need to get started successful in the Nightmare Loop. The mode is quite challenging and many people fail to achieve positive results in it. Well, let's get started. The most important step you need to remember is that you never hurry. Yes, this is a step that should stay with you throughout the entire mode. The less you hurry, the further you will progress in the mode. Always remember this. Tip number 2. If you have a long melee skin, then use it. The mode is available to people who already have at least one char at level 60. In other words, the mode is designed for veterans of this game, which means you most likely have a long melee skin. Excellent options include the following skin: Call of the Accursed and Sights. Right now the following skins are available to you: Danish Axe, Nadachi and Battle Axe. Tip number 3. Your entire gameplay revolves around stealth and surprise damage, because it deals a lot of damage. You'll be using the sneak maybe 90% of the time. Tip number 4. Use rain trees into the room. If something goes wrong, you can exit in the door and try again. Tip number 5. Don't forget to use your food. Food damages 2, which is almost the same as pipe damage. After a surprise attack, a regular thin zombie needs 2 more pipe hits to die. But you can hit it with a pipe once after a surprise attack and finish it off with the kick. This will be a bit faster. Tip number 6. To get loot, you need to kill female zombies, but this is not mandatory. You can kill a male zombie without attracting attention and rearrange the weapon slots, or open the mission list, and then the loot post will be available. Step 7. If you've engaged in open fight, you need to find an obstacle you can use to push against, and kill the zombies without taking extra damage. Step number 8. Skip difficult rooms. If you realize that a room is too dangerous and you won't be able to reach the loot without taking damage, just skip that room. Step number 9. You need to learn how to delay off dangerous zombies using a surprise attack. It's not as difficult as you might think, but you need practice. To do this, you need to aim at this area and deliver a strike. For this I recommended using a right mouse button strike. If you deprive a dangerous zombie of these legs, you'll be able to finish off the other zombies, or just finish off this unlegged zombie. Step number 10. In the first building there are rooms with tendies, and killing them will give you a coin. First, you need to make sure that it's slow enough. If it's too fast, you should skip this room. If it's slow enough, you will need an obstacle around which you can walk and deal damage to it safely. Rooms with tendies are highlighted on the minimap. You can return and kill a tendy when you have good weapons. For example, pickaxe, shotgun, or something with a rapid fire. Coins in this mode are needed to buy useful items, upgrades for them, and ammunition. The merchant in building 1 is most often located on the second floor. Your number one goal is to accumulate 12 coins to buy pickaxe from the merchant. This is very good weapon that can get you through the entire mode, unless you get something better. The glass key needs to be purchased only after the purchase of a pickaxe. There is a chest behind the glass door where you can find something useful. If you do not have enough coins to buy a pickaxe and you have loot up all the rooms, then in the first building you can buy a shovel for 10 coins. Or you can wait for the reset to loot up the first building again and find the missing coins. Also, there will be rooms in the building with an altar that can give you additional coins. The main rule for using the altar is to have mats, because if you have low HP and you click on the altar twice, there is a chance that the altar debuff will kill you. So use the altar only if you have enough HP and have mats. The altar is called the altar of sacrifice for a reason. You sacrifice your HP to have a chance to get additional coins. You will also find an altar in the boss room with 3 red questions. If you click on it twice, one of the boss of this building will enter the room. After you kill the boss, you must click on the altar again to collect the reward from it. This room is not mandatory for progressing to the next location, but in the first building I recommend not skipping it. After the boss enters the room, the door to the challenge room will lock. To exit it, you need to kill the boss. Or if the boss is difficult for you, you can exit to menu and return to the mode. The boss will no longer be in the room, and the door will not be locked. I don't know if this was originally intended or if it will be fixed in the future. So, let's move on to the review of the bosses in the first building and methods to defeat them. On the first floor there is Scarecrow, a fairly simple boss, but it has a lot of HP. The easiest way to kill it is to simply shoot it. The peculiarity of this boss is that crows will interfere with your shots. Do avoid taking damage from the crows and hit the Scarecrow. You need to run back a little after each shot and take a couple of steps towards the Scarecrow. Thanks for this action, most of the crows will fly past you, and you will have an opening to shoot at the Scarecrow. This will also help you avoid damage from the crow. To kill the Scarecrow you will need 30 bullets, but always have at least 40 in reserve, so that you have room for making mistakes. Can you kill the Scarecrow with melee? Yes, you can. If you have a long skin, you can even kill it with a pipe. But you need to have mats in reserve, because it's quite difficult to completely avoid damage. I usually kill this boss last. The boss on the second floor is the crawling creep. He is quite simple. The first you should loot the loot post on the right. Why? Believe me, it's necessary. I recommend killing him with melee to save ammo. The thing about this boss is that he has a fairly large attack radius and deals damage quite quickly. So to kill him safely, I recommend sticking to the tactic you see on the screen now, namely, running around the chairs and dealing damage only when you're in certain place. The screenshot shows green areas, where it is safe to deal damage, and red areas where you should not deal damage to him. If you do everything correctly, you will not take damage and will kill the boss. To kill him you will need 64 hits. After he dies, many fast mobs will appear, so you need to quickly open the chest, starting with the equipment chest, and leave the room. The floor number 3. There is child. And in my opinion, this boss is the most unpleasant. The child has tentacles and sprint, and the room is quite small. The first thing I do is launch a surprise attack on him to save ammo. You need to do this a couple of seconds after you appear in the room, because in the first seconds he has a stun resist. If you hit him right away, he will just hit you back. To kill him you will need to move around the room in the same ways as in the room with the patient zero. You must never run into the middle of the room. And remember that after each shot, you must not stand still. The child sprints is standard. 3 seconds of running, 2 seconds of walking. So, you shouldn't use sprint too often, or for too long. If you do everything right, your stamina will run out when the child dies. But if you've run out of stamina, but jog around the room without shooting, build up your stamina and keep killing the child. To kill the child, you'll need to hit him in the head 20 times. If you have a pickaxe and many mats, you can kill it with melee, but I don't recommend doing so. The boss of floor number 4 is an ordinary Quire. The boss is quite easy to defeat. You'll need 20 bullets to kill him. Quire will actively wave his hand in front of his face. Try not to hit it. Also don't forget that when he starts screaming, you can shoot him in the first seconds of his scream. He'll be stunned and you won't take any damage. Knowing this, you can kill him with melee, if you have a pickaxe. Let's move on. On the 5th floor will be met a green cystic zombie. Boss is not pleasant. Buy only until you know all the ways to kill it. The special feature of this boss is that it has stun resist and has a fairly long sprint. There are several ways to kill it. The first method is to simply jog away from it and shoot it when it slows down. The second method is to run around the obstacle and wait until it gets stuck. At that point, shoot it. By the same logic, you can kill it with an iron pipe or a pickaxe. Well, the fastest way to kill him is what you are seeing on the screen now. This method is for those who have quick reflex. I did it solely to show that it's possible, but I don't usually do it because I often make mistakes and hit the bubbles. After you've killed all the bosses, go down to the lobby on the first floor and use the hatch to move to the next building. And that's all for me. Something like that. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, you can click something button down below. Or if you have any questions, you can ask them in the comments. Bye everyone.